So, Siri, you've been to a lot of places. Which would you say is the top 5 overrated places?
Overrated, I would say Casablanca.
Casablanca. Mm-hmm.
Because I think everyone goes with this vision of Casablanca and the movie and it being, you know, like it's like a romantic sort of place. And it's not really. It's relatively sort of boring and industrial. If you're going to go to Morocco, then go to Marrakesh or go to Fez or go to the Atlas Mountains.
Where else?
The second one that is overrated would be the Maldives. The Maldives are beautiful, by the way. So, but I think that unless you're into diving, there's not much else to do there. So it's a sort
Isn't that the whole point?
Well, I think that's the thing, right? So if you're looking just for a place to sort of chill out and you know, hang around on the beach, then fine. But if you're on one of those islands and you're alone, like I was when I was traveling, it does get just a little bit boring, really. You know, as beautiful as it is, there's not much to do.
Okay, and after that?
Then after that. So then another place that I think is very overrated is Santorini. So Santorini in Greece, again, very, very beautiful. It's an Instagram island, and it is very beautiful, by the way. It's very sort of classical, you know, white buildings, blue seas, but it's incredibly overcrowded. So you don't get that experience in Santorini. Because you are literally battling in the heat to walk down the streets with thousands of other tourists, and it's only sort of a small island. There are many, many, many other beautiful like Greek islands to go to that are just as beautiful and as accessible and not as crowded.
Okay, so that's 3.
That's 3. Then in number 2 place that is most overrated would be Niagara Falls.
Wow.
Controversial. But I think Niagara Falls is a little bit cheap and tacky, to be quite honest.
Oh, okay. From that perspective, I can understand that, yeah.
So, and the falls they're nice. I mean, you go on the boat trip and everything. But I don't know, if you've been to somewhere like Angel Falls or you've been to Victoria Falls, then, you know, Niagara Falls is not as spectacular. And one of the reasons I say it's overrated is that people have such high expectations of going there. Yeah. So that's the problem, right? It's not that it's a bad place to go to. It's just that a lot of people go there on their honeymoons, and it had a little bit of a feel of, you know, a 1960s British sort of rundown seaside resort when I went there. So Niagara Falls. And then my top overrated place, and this is going to be very, very controversial, will be the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Again, they are outstanding, they're breathtaking, but I think because you have such high expectations when you go there, and in my mind, if I'm going to see these places, I always think that I am going to, you know, be the first to sort of discover it. Whereas, you know, the particularly I'm talking about the pyramids of Giza, you sort of walk out the back of a shopping center and it's there. And again, it's overcrowded and it's very touristy. I think if you go to see the light and sound show the night before, then that becomes sort of like quite magnificent. And there are, but my point is there are many other places to visit in Egypt that have either other pyramids or temples that are unbelievably spectacular. So if you're going to go to Egypt and you want to get that, experience of being amongst the pharaohs, then I would suggest going to other places like Abu Simbel, the Karnak temple, places like that, rather than the pyramids of Giza. And for you, Tony, what would you say what would your top 5 places be that you consider to be the most overrated? Overrated, yes.
New York.
Okay.
I love New York.
I've never been to New York. Yeah.
I love New York. It's an absolutely fantastic city, but you've seen it. You know, you've seen it in all of its forms, in all of its development, all of the transitions. I don't think there's really a great deal there to see that we can't see by turning on the TV any day of the week.
It's the image you see the whole time with on the American shows.
It reminds me of the first time I actually went there, and we were driving along the west side, and one of my friends were in the back of the taxi chatting, and I turned to the taxi driver and I said, "Is this Sutton Row?" And he said, "Yes." And they just stopped talking. It's like, how do you know this? And it was because in my brain I just thought, I've seen this on the TV. I know where I am, and never been there before in my life.
Wow.
And it's a lot of New York was, if you don't look up and see the skyscrapers, you're just on major avenues.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And if you go to Tokyo, it's the same thing. If you go to many of the big, developed cities, it's the same thing. So unfortunately, New York would be pretty much at the top of the list of.
That surprises me, because you go to New York quite a lot. So I always thought that New York was a favourite place of yours.
I go to see the people.
Yeah.
And those people could be anywhere. So that'd be at the top of the list. Bangkok.
Bangkok. Why is Bangkok overrated? Are we going down the ladyboy route?
Once you've been there and you've seen that once, then there's no point going back. But no, I mean, I found Bangkok. Well, we've been to Asia. We've been to a couple of places. We went to Seoul. Bangkok is like a cheap version of that. I found that, Thailand, going there was very much like a cheapened, a cut price version. It was Temu. It was the Temu of Asia. And yeah, I've been there, done that, tick that box. Don't really need to go back there again.
Fair enough.
Where else? And again, this is going to upset some of my friends, Amsterdam.
I would have put Amsterdam on the list, actually, yeah.
Yeah, Amsterdam is worn out to me. It's very green, it's environmentally friendly, they've got the bicycles. But, bicycles are like electric cars. You don't know they're there until they're almost running you down. And that kind of gets a bit boring after a while. And it's very much... Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to say anything else about that. I like going to Amsterdam, again, because of the people.
Yeah.
Not because of the city anymore. It's been there, done that, seen it. But again, remember, the theme is, don't take my word for it, go and do it for yourself.
Fair enough.
Buenos Aires, I found, was quite... it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. In fact, for me, it was super scary.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah, especially out at night. And actually, the other place that was very much like that was Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo split into different areas, and I went into the original downtown area, and that was one of the scariest experiences of my life. So that's probably my top 5 in terms of anywhere where I don't feel safe. Is somewhere that I'm not in a rush to go back there ever again.
But do you think Buenos Aires and Sao Paulo were rated in the first place? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's the whole South America experience.
Right.
I mean, my son and his partner, they spent 6 months doing the whole of South and Central America. And we actually, you mentioned Niagara Falls, we actually met and we went to Iguazu Falls.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, I flew from Dubai over to Sao Paulo, spent a few days there, and then I went over to Buenos Aires, and then we met and we went to Iguazu Falls, and then they went off back on their trip, and I spent a few more days in Buenos Aires, and I was staying with my friend's family, and they're lovely people, but the city was just like, been there, done that, seen it, don't like it, want to go home now.